glow, grow, and feel the flow. So today we're back at it again with another video. This might be number, I think, 3, just based on self-improvement and that whole aspect. So this one is going to be just to motivate people, and I want people to really just, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but realize that whatever change comes through you, that's all like a self-related thing. Like, you have to motivate yourself, and that's where the same saying, like, you can only lead or pour the water but you can't make it drink, that's where it comes from. So in a nutshell, we're gonna be talking about that. So I'm not gonna weave into it, I'm just gonna be direct. So the main thing I think that people need to understand in this year and just in general is that if you want stuff to change, you have to do it yourself. But the first thing that we're gonna touch on is just generally making sure that you keep what you're trying to change small. You don't try to change a lot of things at one time. So for me, I think the first thing that I did was you identify a problem that you have. So mine was with my body, because I was really small. And if you look at the pictures, I was small in high school up until I was even like 17 years old. And I was about 120 pounds ish. And I just kept wanting to change, and it was just something that I felt insecure about, and I really didn't know what to do. But it was just something that I got tired of hearing, like, oh, you're skinny, and just seeing it is different when you see it versus you hear it, and when it's something that hits close to home. And some people say like they get fed up at some time, but I feel like you need to just like realize that there's something that you don't like, that you want to change, and just change it then, versus just waiting a long time, because that's what I did. I waited like years, and people would say, I'll train you, and I always kept putting it off and saying, one day, like when I have money, I'll hire a trainer and have somebody train me. And yeah, I feel like had I waited, I would still be the way I was back in high school. So basically that leads us into number 1. So number 1 is you want to make sure that you have really, really small actions towards your goal. So the goal can be as big as you want it to be, but you want the action to be small. So I set out and said I'd do, I think it was like a 30-minute workout a night, but it was just based on the things that I felt insecure on. So it was just my chest and my arms, because I felt like my lower body wasn't something that I cared about at that time. But I decided to do push-ups, so I would do 4 sets of push-ups. So I think each would be 25. I would just knock those out and try to get 100 within the workout session. And in between that, I would do the curls for my arms to get bigger biceps. So I would do that 3 times a week. So I would work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this was when I first started, because now I'm doing like other days. So now I'm doing, I think it's Sunday and Tuesday. So I did it today. But that's a whole other topic. But the point is that you want it to be something that is really easy to do, so that way you don't miss it. Because the main thing that people don't realize with their goals is consistency. And that's the number 1 thing, is that you need to be really consistent, and you actually just need to be achieving the goal daily and working at it daily, versus just saying I'm motivated now. And that's the problem, is that people confuse motivation with drive. And drive is what you need, because motivation is more emotional, and that's based on how you feel at that specific time. So you could watch a movie, you could watch Rocky, and you watch it and you're feeling pumped. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and knock out all these people, or I'm gonna curl these weights. And you do that one time, you're only doing that one time, and you don't grow. And I had that mindset where I think like the first time I worked out wasn't really when I thought it was before. It was I think it was one time where my mom or somebody, actually no, not my mom, it was when our school took us to the weight room, and I curled weights, and the gym person, he was showing us what to do. And after that was it. 3 years later, I was still small, because I did that one time where I felt really, really motivated, and I was like, yeah, let's go, I'm motivated, let's curl. And yeah, that's why there was no change. So that's the difference between motivation and drive, because drive says no matter what it's looking like outside, and no matter what happens the day before, what I have to do that day, I'm still gonna achieve my goals and still work on what I need to work on for the day. So in a nutshell, that's where it becomes hard. So we'll touch on that. That'll be number 3. So going into number 2, you need to make sure that you understand what you're doing, and you need to make sure that I would say just make sure that you're focused on what you need to do, but you make sure that you kind of map it out in a way. So you kind of make sure that your goal is like one thing and one thing only. And that goes back to what I was saying before. Like, don't have a bunch of different things. Like, focus on one thing. So my goal was to just make sure that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, spent 30 minutes doing a hardcore workout any time of the day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I first started. And over time, things will start to catch up, and you'll notice just the benefits and stuff. And that's when you'll start seeing results, when you stay consistent. And then that leads into what the true number 2 was. So that was like 1B. So true number 2 was, you need to definitely make sure that you always just work, because some people always say that you should just believe in yourself. But I even say to this day, like, there's a lot of things that I did and I still do that I don't always believe in myself with, that I've either achieved or I'm still doing. Like, even when I work out, like, I don't always feel confident. Some days I really do. Some days I feel super like pumped and good, and other days I'm just curling weights like light and I don't feel the connection. But the point is that you need to just be working, and don't always focus on the mindset of the confidence part. You just need to show up, and eventually that's how I grew and I achieved things, just by just moving and not necessarily saying you have to believe in yourself first, because in my case it was just moving and then the confidence came later. So the main thing is you always want to make sure that you're doing work. And then number 3, that goes back into the motivation and drive situation. So you always want to make sure that you're driven with whatever you want to truly achieve. If it's a real goal that you really want to like just see come to fruition, you got to make sure that you understand the difference between the two. So that's why there were a lot of days where, like, I think one of the hardest ones was we had a game. So this was the first I guess 2 months of working out, the first 3 before I saw the big results. The first wave of results. But for a lot of y'all that don't know, like, my past, I used to play soccer. I used to captain our school soccer team, and I played on the weekends with our other team. And I was a center forward or a winger sometimes. But what would happen is we would lose, and some days were good, like a couple, 1 or 2, but a lot of the time we lost games. And I just remember coming home, usually I think I would do homework first, and then I would eat and let food digest, and then I would get on the floor and do my push-ups and my curls and do it all in 30 minutes, and then boom, go to bed, start over the next day, and yeah, just go to practice again. I wouldn't work out every day. It would be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the point is that it was always this constant thing, like clockwork. Wake up, go to school, go to practice, come home, put stuff away, eat, prep for the next day, digest a bit, work out, go to sleep, and then just recycle. I mean, not recycle, but restart the whole thing again. So the point is that it got hard because it's not easy to do. Like, after you just lost the game, it's not the most honestly, it's not the most appealing thing to do, to get down on the floor and do some push-ups and pump iron, and even have it in the back of your head that I gotta work out after this. It's not the best feeling just to think about, and it's annoying after having ran for like 30 something minutes for a whole game, and then coming home even after losing or being sore. But the point is that drive says, no matter what happens, no matter what, we did that day, we're still gonna knock out our goal regardless. And in a nutshell, that's all you need. Those are like the main 3 keys to success, if you ask me, for this year. So you definitely want to make sure that you understand the difference between drive and being motivated, and just understanding that you don't need to believe in yourself all the time. You just need to be constantly working. You need to be constantly just pushing yourself and always doing something. So that's all I got for today. Like and subscribe for more, and please send me more questions and topics to do videos on, and I'll see you in the next video.